And now, the nations of the world, brought to you by Yakko Warner.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too.
The countries of the world. When I picture a country, the first thing that comes to my mind is the flag. Today, I want to explore how the flags around the world represent a country's unique history and specifically culture. First, we have to define what a flag actually is. A flag is a distinctive piece of fabric used as a symbol, a signaling device, or for decoration. Unlike other concepts, flags do not have one singular inventor or moment that we can trace their invention back to. Instead, the modern concept of national flags actually has its origin in military seals and standards. Ancient Egypt, Rome, and China all utilized these symbols for their armies. Shown here is the Roman vexillium, a square piece of fabric that was carried on a pole into battle. These were important to the pride of armies, and it was an embarrassment to lose one. In fact, the Roman vexillium is how we got the word vexillology, which is the study of flags. Flags in ancient times weren't used as we do today. The majority of flags were either used for military purposes or to represent the family or empire that had control of a country. The early Chinese dynasties used banner-like flags to represent their emperors, but they weren't yet used to represent the entire nation. In ancient India, people would carry large flags on chariots and elephants, and the fall of a flag would mean defeat. The many empires of India's history were represented by their respective flags, which were often triangular, included red, green, and gold embroidery. The use of the flags was also present in the Middle East. The ancient Persian army, modern-day Iran, used this bronze flag as far back as 2400 BCE. Slowly, the influence of flags began to spread from Asia to the European continent. Here, pennants, banners, streamers, and standards were already being used to represent the royalty. However, the idea of a national flag was completely new. The idea soon took hold, and national flags were soon adopted. The flags of England, Northern Ireland, and Scotland all paid homage to their patron saints. In the early 19th century, these flags were combined to form the Union flag, also known as the Union Jack. As time went on, national flags became commonplace around the world. But the question is, how do national flags show culture? I first want to talk about how different flags show a national identity of a country and how that contributes to culture. To start, I want to show you the world's only non-quadrilateral flag, that of Nepal. The two triangular pennants are thought to symbolize the peaks of the Himalayan mountains, which play an important role in Nepalese culture. The red color of the flag is meant to represent Nepal's national flower, the rhododendron. Blue represents peace, and the moon and the sun are thought to represent the hope of the people that the country will survive as long as the celestial bodies. The red and triangular flag has been a Hindu symbol of victory for ages. Now the flag of Papua New Guinea. After a long history of colonialism, Papua New Guinea gained independence in the 1970s, and the country held a nationwide competition to come up with a design for the national flag. It was won by a 15-year-old girl named Susan. The flag features red and black, which are the country's national colors, and a Regina bird of paradise, which plays an important role in the spiritual life of various tribes, and it is also the national bird. On the bottom, the flag showcases the Southern Cross, a constellation that can only be seen from the southern hemisphere. Next, I want to talk about colonialism and how that influences the flags of today. First, Mozambique. They gained independence from Portugal in 1975. The flag was adopted in 1983 during the Civil War, led by the Mozambique Liberation Front. The flag is one of the most interesting ones in the modern world. It features an AK-47 on the flag, which represents the fight for independence during its Civil War and that of colonialism. It is crossed with a hoe, symbolizing Mozambique's agricultural history, while the open book shows the importance of education in the country. Education, production, and defense. Colors also play a key role in the meaning of flags. The black color of Mozambique represents the African continent, the green represents the rich soil, and the yellow represents the country's minerals. The red was a color used by the Liberation Front, and the white stripes represent peace and justice. Now, Kenya is also a country that has a deep history in colonialism, and this flag represents the hope to push beyond the ties of colonialism. It's the story of independence. The black represents the Kenyan people, the red represents the blood spilled during the age of colonialism, and the green represents the natural wealth of the country. In the center, the flag features a Maasai shield crossed with two spears, which represents the deep history and culture of the people of Kenya. Kenya was once a British colony, and the flag of the Kenyan colony featured the Union Jack in the upper left-hand corner, a symbol that has become synonymous with colonialism. In fact, there are still countless countries that feature the Union Jack, including Australia, New Zealand, and even the state of Hawaii. The old saying goes that the sun never sets on the British Empire, and that's true for their flags as well. Finally, I want to explore the connection between history and the culture of the people, and show how that manifests itself in the flag. To do this, I asked my friend Javi Lopez, who lives in Sevilla, Spain, about what the Spanish flag means to him. He told me, "The flag, to me, means pride of what we are, and the history we've been through, how we've pushed through all the wars and struggles to be the best version of our country. It represents our food and traditions. I think about all the typical Spanish dishes and drinks. The bright colors represent our electric personalities and our colorful landscapes. When I think about the flag, the first thing that comes to my mind is how happy I am to be Spanish, and I would defend my country over anything." When I asked Sebastião Ferrao of Lisbon, Portugal, about the Portuguese flag, he told me the flag of Portugal shows off our culture, and the people are proud to fly it around the city. When I think of the flag, I think about our sports and our culture, and I'm proud of my country. When I asked Owen Richards about what he thought the American flag represents, he said, "I think the American flag represents the history of the United States. Everyone knows how the stars symbolize the 50 states, and that the stripes represent the original 13 colonies, and it's been present at some of the most important historical moments." So in conclusion, how do flags show culture? Well, they do so in three ways. First, they showcase a national identity. Today we've seen the flags of Nepal and Papua New Guinea, and both of these flags are heavily influenced by the national identity of their respective countries. And when we study them, we have to use a lens of cultural relativism to fully understand what their flags symbolize. 2. They represent history. Today we've examined flags that directly show links to colonialism. Some, like Australia and New Zealand, still feature the flags of their colonizers, but others, like Mozambique and Kenya, purposefully try to cut links with colonialism by featuring flags that focus on their country's heritage. 3. Symbolic of the values and lifestyle of a country. A good flag is symbolic of the people and aligns directly with what they believe in, and that's what makes a good flag. Now, in modern days, flags have taken on new meanings and used in new ways, just as the flags have evolved over time. Now, flags are used for the United Nations, the European Union, and even the Olympics. Over the period of history, flags play an important role, and they really do symbolize the heart of what it means to be a citizen of your country. It shows your culture.